Hello and welcome back to Aiche. Long time no see. How are we doing? How was your new year? I have been a little bit offline recently. Obviously Christmas happened and then work has been a thing. And so finally back on the internet a little bit. Apologies if the sound isn't great. I left my microphone at home before I came back to my own flight in London. So next time we will have the microphone and it'll sound a lot better. But today we are going to be looking at Disney AI. And one thing you don't know about me, or maybe you do, or maybe I've mentioned it before, I actually work at Disney. I am an intern at the Disney Hammersmith office just down the road. It has been great, really, but a lot of the interesting stuff that has been happening recently has been around AI. So sit back, relax, grab a cup of coffee, and let's dive into the world of AI and Disney. So Disney has very recently announced their partnership with OpenAI, which is a really interesting thing for them to do. This has kind of been in the works for a little while now. I don't think people really realize how much Disney really hated AI before, I guess, 2025. When I joined the company, we were staunchly against AI, and this was back in June 2025. So really not that long ago, we were hating on AI. Now they have announced their partnership with OpenAI and being able to create short videos with Disney characters on Disney Plus. And people have a lot of things to say about this. I have a lot of things to say about this. So why does this partnership matter right now? So we are kind of going into a world where tech and big businesses like Disney and creative industries are becoming much more AI based. We found lots of videos online from Sora particularly, where people have gone on and just typed in a prompt and then you get whatever you want. That's what you get. And I found myself also going online and falling for these AI videos. A lot of the time I have to go into the comment section and then I find someone saying, oh, it's AI. Because there isn't like a whole thing about telling people that it's AI. Currently there isn't really any legislation around that. Not as far as I'm aware, or at least if there is, then they're not doing a very good job because a lot of videos online are AI and you just won't know because obviously people don't tell you that they're AI. And Disney have, in the past, have a big thing about hating on AI. So according to The Guardian, Disney has previously been concerned with unauthorized use of Disney IP and infringing on copyrights. Platform such as Character AI and indeed Sora. It says here the company sent a stern cease and desist letter to Character AI chatbot firm in October, alleging that the platform was blatantly infringing on Disney's copyrights through the use of likeness of its characters. Wednesday evening, attorneys representing Disney sent a cease and desist letter to Google, demanding that the technology company's AI systems stop alleged infringement. But this is really hard to do, obviously. So obviously AIs, they take information from all across the internet, and Disney is all across the internet. It's really hard to get away from it. These AI companies are not going to be able to distinguish what's Disney. Well, they can, but it's really hard for them to take away aspects of Disney because it's literally everywhere, including sort of like things like style of characters. For example, like Pixar style. You find a lot of these videos, it's like if Pixar was about Hitler and things like that. And it's very, very hard to push that away, to push back from that and to call that copyright infringement. Because although it is, AI in itself isn't actually, there aren't any proper legislation around what AI can and can't take from. At the moment, it can just take from anything. So on December 11th, 2025, Disney announced that they would be joining together with Sora, or OpenAI, ChatGPT, if you will. As part of this 3-year licensing agreement, Sora will be able to generate short, user-prompted social videos that can be viewed and shared by fans, drawing on more than 200 Disney, Marvel, Pixar, and Star Wars characters. Agreement will make a selection of these fan-inspired Sora short-form videos available to stream on Disney+. Disney and OpenAI affirm a shared commitment to responsible use of AI that protects the safety of users and rights of creators. That's really interesting. Alongside the licensing agreement, Disney will become a major customer of OpenAI, using its APIs to build new products, tools, and experiences, including for Disney Plus and deploying ChatGPT for its employees. And then finally, as part of the agreement, Disney will make a $1 billion equity investment in OpenAI and receive warrants to purchase additional equity. Wow. So a lot of money is being put into OpenAI right now. And then on Disney Plus, we will get a new feature where you can type in a prompt and use your favorite Disney characters to do whatever they want. This is going to come with a lot of caveats, and I do feel like AI is really difficult to manage and make sure that people are doing the right things with it. For example, making things in like a violent way or in a sexual way is going to be really hard to get around certain people's voice, like certain people's way of speaking. And there are certainly ways that you can type prompts to bypass the restrictions that these things have, which we have seen online all the time. I feel like I go on Instagram constantly and I'll see something violent with a Disney character or something sexual with a Disney character. There's a lot of that. And so it's going to be really hard to regulate this. And I'm wondering how they're actually going to do that. They haven't announced that, but obviously this has been announced by Bob, and it's a whole thing right now. As you can see, I don't script my videos. This is all just kind of opinion. So I think the idea for Disney is that this is going to monetize IP proactively instead of defensively by going against all these companies who people have been using to create videos that doesn't make them money, essentially. So this is a way for them to make money from the videos that people are already making, essentially. So with that, obviously, it kind of comes with a bit of a murky territory about what you consider is art and what really is storytelling. In my opinion, AI is not art and is not storytelling, but people, I guess they're kind of seeing it in a way that this is a new way for people to create their own content. As a creative, it's really hard to understand how people love AI when I'm trying to do my own thing, creating my own works, and then having I can imagine being a bit disheartened by having other people steal my works to create something new. And then for OpenAI, obviously this is a great opportunity for them. They're not going to get sued by Disney for people using their platforms to make Disney content now. And obviously they're getting a ton of money from this, and they can create more of their content farms. We can make more slop. And it's kind of a big step in AI for solidifying a Hollywood partner. And I'm sure we will see more to come from other studios doing similar things. So what does this mean for Disney's future? I saw a post not too long ago about James Cameron potentially using AI in the next Avatar film. AI is actually used a lot in animation, just in general, to complete a scene. So Pixar animators will in fact it would take them a long time to render a whole scene, and AI now is helping them render scenes in much less time. I can't tell you a lot about how this works. This was told to me by a Pixar animator. And they said that now they can finish a whole film in a lot less time than it would have taken, back when the first Toy Story came out, for example. The whole of Toy Story 1 can actually be rendered in less time than the entirety of the film. So now AI is being used and has been used a lot in the past in Pixar and other animation studios. And now we are seeing that is going to be used even more in things like Pixar, I guess, and Disney as a whole. I think people have a lot of resentment towards Disney at the moment in general, simply because their films haven't been the best. I went to see the new Avatar film not too long ago, and I was not impressed. I remember coming out of the theatre after seeing the second film, and I thought, oh, that was the exact same film as the first film. And then I came out of the theatre seeing the third film, thinking, that was the exact same film as the second film. So every Avatar film to me now feels exactly the same. I wonder whether James Cameron used OpenAI to help write the script for Avatar 3. Either that or he has literally run out of ideas. Anyway, I digress. Disney have been on a bit of a downward spiral ever since Wish was a bit of a flop. And we see quite a bit of resentment towards Disney and a lot more nostalgia for the better stories of the past, and the newer things we are not really enjoying, at least from what I am hearing from the internet. So this shift into using even more AI with the hatred that people do have towards AI, at least in my generation, I think that this is only going to get worse. I really don't think this is going to help the company in any way, except from maybe their kid audience, which, to be fair, they are kid orientated. And it is possible that these children who are growing up with AI, they're growing up with iPads, and they will want to go on Disney Plus. And this is a safe space for parents to put them on Disney Plus. They can create AI because obviously Disney is trustworthy to them. And they will create what they want rather than, I guess, creating things on Sora themselves, which could be bad in a way. It can be seen as Disney will definitely be a bit more of a trustworthy place for these people, for these children to use rather than outside sources. However, in the land of Disney Plus and new films coming out and the danger of removing human creativity, I do think that we will see a decline in the love for the brand. And this is coming from a brand perspective, unfortunately, as someone who does work for the company, and I see every day that people actually really do love working for Disney. I have to say, I like working for Disney. And they want it to succeed. I haven't had many conversations about the AI with my colleagues much, but people do want it to succeed, and I don't think that this is the way forward for Disney. I think much more boycotting AI and definitely heading into that Gen Z demographic is a much better way to ensure that your content is good. I worry that we will get Pixar films later down the line that will all be created by AI. And while some of these stories, no, they won't. I was going to say, while some of these stories may be okay, they definitely won't. The thing about AI is just, it doesn't have the human element that actually people want to see, and I want to see, and I want to create. AI just takes away from all that. It takes that human element away. And it is grabbing ideas from other people, from people who created things that, you know, maybe they don't want this to then be put into an AI slot machine for 5-year-olds to see Nick Wilde and Judy Hopps kiss. I don't know. That's what I'm assuming this AI is going to be used for. And I do want to know what the creators are genuinely thinking about this, because I actually haven't seen anything from any actual Disney creators. Although I have seen from Dana Terrace, who was the creator of Owl House, has now started a new venture with Glitch, with Knights of Guinevere, which very clearly goes against the Disney brand, particularly the parks. But I think that she had a very sour taste in her mouth after Disney dropped her from the Owl House. And she is incredibly anti-AI, and Glitch are doing an incredible job of being anti-AI and really capturing particularly that Gen Z audience. Knights of Guinevere is fantastic, and if you haven't seen The Amazing Digital Circus, go watch that. I'm sure you have. Every single person on the planet has seen that pilot. It is an incredible show, really. I think Disney have this sort of idea that animation is for children, and it's definitely not. We see that with Pixar, you know? A lot of Pixar films are loved by all because they are human and they are created out of passion and love for the brand. I fear that Pixar may be the first to fall, if not, Disney Animation Studios have already kind of fallen, but Pixar may fall soon too with the rise of AI and their use with it already. They may use it even more. So the world feels bleak right now, at least in the land of Disney. And what can we do about it? As creators, as consumers, and as people who, want to see the world be a bit more human. We can, of course, boycott Disney, but nobody's going to do that. Everything is on Disney Plus right now, and yeah, I enjoy my Disney films just as much as the next person. So that's going to be very hard to do. But we can continue to voice our concerns online. If we feel like a new film is using too much AI, such as the new Pixar films, if we do get to that point, or even the new Avatar films, let's not go watch that, guys, please. I fear, my prediction is the fourth one will be the same thing again. Boycott Avatar 4, boycott Avatar, boycott James Cameron. So while we may see this new personalized experience for people on Disney Plus, I urge you not to use it. I know that's going to be hard to do. And it would be, honestly, it's an interesting thing to try out. AI is interesting to try out, and it isn't going anywhere. But we can boycott things like that. Watch the old films. Let's not watch the new stuff. I don't care about this new stuff. Nobody even likes the new stuff. Don't go watch it. And we might see more studios like Universal and Warner Brothers, Netflix, they might start using AI as well. Although this has come at a very interesting time when K-pop Demon Hunters came out not too long ago, and that completely changed the board, which was obviously made with passion and not AI in the slightest. So that kind of says to me that people do want more human-driven narratives and just better narratives. Let's not give our creatives 2 years to make a film. Let's give them 5 or 6 years. It needs a long time. These things take a long time and lots of refining. Let's stop trying to appeal to the masses and appeal to specific audiences. So ultimately, there's not really a lot that we can do about this. You can try boycotting Disney all you want, but unless we kind of get children to boycott Disney, it's really hard to stop these companies who have millions and millions of dollars from doing these things to creators, from taking away their arts, from taking away their creativity and passion, and just giving it to a code to create without any human intervention. It's super hard, but perhaps we do need to try. I do think that there may be a time when we come to a bit of a revolution where a lot of people are turning towards indie animation and animation created solely by humans, which I think we are seeing a lot now already. And that's really good to see. I hope that you continue to support your favorite small creators and your favorite indie animators. And then one day they may become the big bucks of the world. And there may be a time where human creativity is much more desired than AI slop. And that is a world that I hope to create sometime in the future. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it. Sorry, it's a bit rambly. I never seem to write a script. I have like a little bit of an outline. But I should probably start writing my scripts. I'm going to try and make more videos. My aim is 1 a week. I know I said this last year. It stopped happening when Disney happened, but I will continue to do my best to do a video a week. So if you do have any topics that you want me to talk about, if you want to talk about a little bit more about Disney and my time there, please let me know in the comments down below. And if you did enjoy, like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.